Welcome to Unraveled Anomalies, where I dive into the strange and unknown, digging up stories and legends that you've never heard about.
Until now.
In today's video, we're going to be investigating a phenomenon that is still unexplained to this day. The event in question is the Dancing Plague of 1518, where an art form that is practiced by millions of people
turns into a living nightmare.
Let's jump into it.
In July 1518, the city of Strasbourg, then a part of the Holy Roman Empire, witnessed one of the most inexplicable events in recorded history. A woman began dancing uncontrollably in the street, unable to stop for days. Within weeks, hundreds joined her in a frenzy that lasted for months and unfortunately claimed many lives. This event is known as the Dancing Plague of 1518. Was it an episode of mass hysteria or mania? Or was it something much, much more sinister?
Real quick, could you just imagine you're in 1518 doing whatever people in 1518 do? You look outside and you just see your neighbor hitting that shit. She's just hitting that like it's nobody's business, just going buck wild crazy. And then a few weeks later, you look outside and you got like 400 of your neighbors, probably your friends and shit, just fucking just hitting that shit like fucking crazy, man. Like, I mean, shit, I know we're just getting started, but this shit's about to get juicy.
Strasbourg in the early 16th century was a vibrant but troubled city. Many famines, outbreaks of smallpox and syphilis.
Ugh. God damn. I know there's a lot of problems with living in 2026 or whatever, but most of us don't have to deal with that shit. Jesus Christ.
And the lingering trauma of the Black Death had created a whirlpool of struggle within the population. The episode began around July 14th, 1518, when a woman known as Frau Trofea stepped into a public street and started dancing without music or reason. She continued for several days, despite the obvious signs of exhaustion and bleeding feet. It's reported that she danced almost without interruption for up to 6 days. Not long after, others joined her. Within a week, dozens were affected. By early August, historians suggest that as many as 400 people were dancing uncontrollably across Strasbourg.
400 people. Yeah, you know, if there's like a dozen, like they said before, you know, cool, whatever, they're just going crazy. Maybe they're tripping off of something, you know what I mean? But 400 people, bro, probably damn near the whole fucking town. Everybody's just fucking hitting that shit. Your grandma's hitting that shit. Your sister's hitting that shit. Your auntie's hitting that shit.
Eyewitness accounts describe participants in a trance-like state. Some foaming out of the mouth, screaming in pain, yet unable to stop moving. Many collapsed from exhaustion, suffered strokes, or died of heart failure. It is estimated that the death rate was up to 15 people per day at its peak.
This is when shit will get real for me, man. Yeah, fun and games, everybody's dancing outside, cool. But as soon as I see someone foaming out the mouth saying, "Hey, help me," oh, we got problems. We got big problems, cause like, what the f, dude? Just like stop dancing.
City officials and physicians initially suspected that overheated blood was causing this phenomenon. Their thought was to encourage more dancing, believing it would purge the extra heat within their bodies.
Bruh, I get it, 1500, you know, they don't have the technology and the science and whatever shit that we have now. But come on, dog. Overheated blood?
Give me a fucking break.
In trying to fix the problem, the city council cleared public spaces, created wooden stages, and hired musicians and professional dancers to dance with the afflicted. The intention was supposed to be therapeutic, to allow whatever was going on to run its course under controlled conditions.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, people were dying. They looked f***ed up and shit. But damn, that had to been one hell of a time. Everybody was probably just partying it up, man. Just getting shit-faced. We got Sarah over here. Yeah, she looks fucking tranced out. But like, that's party. That's get lit. Yeah. Yeah, motherfuckers are dying and shit. But like, you know, let's try to make a good thing of a bad situation. Let's get a little crunk.
However, This approach only worsened the situation, as the added stimulation drew more individuals into the hysteria. Recognizing that what they were doing wasn't working, authorities eventually tried to do the complete opposite. They banned music, they banned dancing in public, closed taverns.
Well, fun's over. It went from one side, let's party, let's get lit, to the complete opposite. Everything's closed. People are still dying. Can't even get a beer after working in the fields for 20 hours or whatever. Can't even get a fucking beer, bro. Can't go to the tavern with my boy John and just grab a lager. That's some bullshit right there, man.
And transported many of the plague to a mountain shrine dedicated to Saint Vitus, the patron saint of neurological disorders and involuntary movement. On top of the mountain, through prayer and ritual, the episode gradually faded away by September.
I mean, I get it. Back in the day, that's what they did. Shit. What's the fucking plan Z here, guys? Ain't nothing working. Well, dude, let's just take them to the mountaintop and start praying.
Wow.
I mean, that is crazy that, like, that's their Hail Mary. They were like,
let's just see what happens. You know what? Let's see if God just, fixes everything.
surprisingly enough, it actually worked. I guess.
Though, this was not a one-time thing. Smaller dancing manias had occurred across Europe since the 13th century, but this one in 1518 remains the largest and best documented. Historians and medical scholars have created several theories in tandem with this event. One early theory involved ergotism, which is the poisoning from ergot fungus, which grows on damp rye and produces alkaloids, which are chemically related to LSD.
So the first theory is everybody's just
Tripping. Everybody's just fucking just tranced out, geeked out.
from this disease or whatever, dancing like a motherfucker until they drop. That's why.
Ergot can cause convulsions, hallucinations, and muscle spasms. However, typical ergot poisoning also produces gangrene, severe vomiting, and other symptoms absent from the Strasbourg accounts.
Ugh. God damn.
Furthermore, the selective nature of the affliction, which was primarily a rhythmic dance rather than random seizures, makes this theory unlikely.
Wait. Hold on. So you're telling me that their dance was fluid?
Oh my god.
Another theory made popular by historians is that the outbreak was a case of mass psychogenic illness. Extreme social and environmental stress like famine, disease, economic hardship, and religious fears of divine punishment created a psychological tipping point. In a culture already familiar with Saint Vitus as a punisher of sinners through involuntary dancing, one person's mental breakdown could spread rapidly through suggestion, fear, and shared religious beliefs. This hypothesis aligns with other documented cases of mass psychogenic illness in other high-stress settings, where collective trauma kind of manifests into shared physical symptoms. The contagious nature of the dancing, the coherence of the victims, in which many were often pleading for help, and the eventual resolution through ritual all supported this explanation.
This is the theory that I believe the most. The other one, it's a stretch, but this one, I guess if I have to pick between the two, it would be this one.
But these are just theories, and the truth may never be known.
Yeah, because how the do you explain that? Plus, it's like 1518, bro. Honestly, I don't even remember what I ate for supper last Tuesday. I just have a hard time believing that people from 1518 that wrote this shit down from the jump and... Did it happen? Apparently. Do I believe that it actually happened? I don't know, but interesting story.
The dancing plague of 1518 stands as a brutal reminder that continuous hardship and collective anxiety can have a real effect on human behavior and health. The overall weirdness of this event is still up for interpretation. What do you think? Was this event some divine retribution from Saint Vitus himself, or was this mass hysteria due to many ongoing hardships?
If I had to choose, it would probably be the mass hysteria due to the hardships. I guess that seems the most realistic to me. Yeah, everybody was probably all fucked up in the head because they were poor, they were starving, disease and shit was going on, like the Black Plague fucked a lot of things up. So I'd probably believe everyone was just tripping because of how fucked their lives were. Let me know what you think. I'll see you next time. Peace out. Take care. Love you.